Hey family, it's your sis Lisa. I hope you're doing well. So guys, today I'm gonna make a video that I was probably supposed to make a while ago. About a year ago, I made this video about overcoming lust and disqualifying myself. And a lot of things have changed since I made that video, but in there I was like, if you guys wanna know why I have to fight feelings of feeling undesirable, let me know. Well, people let me know and I did not make the video for a lot of reasons, but let's just get into it, and we're making the video now, so here we go. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Lisa, nice to meet you. I'm 26, never dated anyone before. If you're not new here, y'all know what it is, let's get into it. So I have never dated anyone, never been on a date at all before. I've never had a boyfriend, none of that. And sometimes women in this position, we can end up feeling like, does nobody want me? Like, what's good? What's going on? And I think something that's important is that we get to the root of those feelings, because yeah, you may feel those feelings because you've never been with anyone before, but for me, once I really started thinking about it deeper, I understood like, wait, there is a deeper reason to why I feel this. Something happened to me that made me feel this way and informed it and created a whole lot of domino effects for the rest of my life until I really thought about it and really took it in deeper. So I'm gonna share what that was. Again, we're getting into some deep stuff here. It's nothing too crazy. I don't wanna preface it like it's really a big deal, but I think it did affect me in a major way. So in my Facts About Me video, I mentioned that I was junior homecoming princess. So at that point, obviously, never dated anyone. I was 16 years old. I had liked guys and maybe told a few guys I liked them. They didn't like me back, but there were no signs of anyone being interested in me. So when I was nominated for Homecoming Princess, I was literally shocked because I was like, I didn't think anyone paid attention to me. I didn't think anyone thought I was cute like that. I didn't think anyone cared, right? So that was super exciting. And I got nominated with this guy. We'll call him Josh. Don't know where that name came from, but I'll call him Josh. So me and Josh are nominated together, but even on the ballot, it wasn't like these two people should be together, but it was like he was tall and heavy set, and we looked like if I was gonna win, he should win with me, and nobody else was in pairs. Is that even what happened? Sorry y'all, I had to take it's been 10 years, so I had to take a second to remember exactly what happened. But, so when we were nominated, it looked like we were nominated together. Everyone else on the list, I was like, I can't picture myself winning with any of these people, because it wouldn't, they were shorter, it would just look wrong, you know what I'm saying? Except for one other guy, and I was like, maybe it'll be me and him. But I was like, by that point, when Spirit Week came, your girl was here to perform. Your girl was here to stand out. I did really good costumes with my friends. I really took every Spirit Day seriously because I was trying to show y'all should vote for me. So it came time to announce who won, and me and this guy Josh, we win. Yay! When I tell you I haven't really talked to this man, I had a few classes with him, but we weren't friends. Wasn't really interested in him, right? But he played on the football team. But yeah, wasn't really interested in him, didn't really know who he was or really necessarily care. I knew his name and we had talked a few times, but it's not like we were friends. So we win together and he's like, oh, congratulations. I was like, thanks. And so it's really crazy, really exciting. All my friends come over, hugging me, exciting at the pep rally, everything, right? Afterwards, I take the picture that I actually really love this picture. One of my faves, it's me waving after the pep rally. Because I felt like I was doing it that day. Anyways, so then I was like, okay, I actually have to go to homecoming, because before I got nominated, I was not gonna go to homecoming. So I was like, great, I'll go to homecoming. I got my first set of tracks, the first weave that I ever had. I got this dress last minute from a Dress Barn. If y'all know, y'all know. I think they're actually out of business, but from Dress Barn. Went, and it was really fun. I had a good time with my friends. Didn't see Josh the whole time, right? Had a really good time with my friends and stuff. It comes time for them to announce homecoming court. And when I tell you, I actually don't remember anything else about this night besides the next moment I'm about to share. So it comes time to announce homecoming court, and it was Lisa and Josh, whatever his last name was, And so you know when it's time, after that, it's time for the couples, like the homecoming court, to dance together. Oh, I should back up. So for homecoming, we would have a homecoming parade. We didn't have a parade for real because it was like raining and disgusting outside, but I had to go to the football game. So I went to the football game to like walk onto the field as the homecoming court. And the field was muddy and gross, and I was trying to look cute. It was very frustrating. So I walk into the field. I don't even have pictures of this because I don't think my family came. I don't think my friends came either. I think I just went to walk onto the field. So I walk into the field, and it was muddy, and he was like in his football uniform. I was like, can I link arms with you so I don't fall? And he was like, yeah. So I have my arm with his, and we're standing on the field. When I tell you that's the most we communicated prior to anything, like that's probably the longest I've talked to him, was when we were standing there arm in arm. So, okay, back to the dance. So we're at the dance, and they announced us as homecoming court, and it's time for us to dance together. I look at him, and his friends are arguing with him. I don't know what they're arguing about, but he's just like, nah, man, and he walks out. So it's time for everyone to dance together, and I am standing there by myself, right? So I ran to the very teen movie, ran to the bathroom, started crying. Like, and by that point, none of my friends were there because they didn't really like stick around for that part. So none of my friends were there, so I'm in this bathroom crying by myself, and this girl comes up like, oh my God, are you okay? You look so beautiful. Like, I don't know who this girl was. Never seen her again a day in my life that I know of. But I'm crying in the bathroom. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. It's just, you know. And like told her what was going on. She was like, oh, it's okay. Like, you know. And I was like, thanks. And I went to the cafeteria where my friends were. And I was like, guys, he like wouldn't dance with me. And they were like, what? I was like, he didn't want to dance with me. And so then I remember vaguely a few days later in school, like one of his friends came up to me who I actually had talked to a few times and like was kind of friendly with. He was like, oh, did you dance with Josh? And I was like, he didn't want to dance with me. He was like, what? And I was like, yeah, he just walked out. Like, we didn't dance together. And that's the only thing I remember about the situation. And you know how you feel like you have selective memory? I feel like I blocked out the rest of it, because when I tell you I had to look into the recesses of my mind to really pinpoint that as a time where I was like, this is when I felt undesirable. Because it was in that moment that I came to the realization that I feel like everybody thinks I'm like pretty, everyone thinks I'm fun, everyone thinks I'm cute, except for men who would be interested in me. Like, it's like everybody voted for me to be junior homecoming princess. Everyone like was like, oh yeah, she should win. But at the same time, the guy who was supposed to desire me in that moment, or was supposed to be at least just cordial and cool enough to dance with me in that moment, he was like, no, she's not it, she's not good. Now, I can say now as a grown adult, I don't know what that boy was thinking. I don't know what was going on. Don't blame him for this moment. I really just think it was something that happened that really affected me, and something that, you know, God had to make happen so I could work through some things, and or God had to let happen. I don't think God made it happen. I think God let it happen. I'll differentiate. But something that God let happen so that it could build me up and inform me moving forward, and, you know, really help me confront some things. So, whew, y'all, this is hard to talk about. So anyway, so years later, I get on like dating apps and stuff like that. It was around the end, it was like the end of high school, beginning of college. I'm on like dating apps and this and that. And dating apps were like this place where I could go on and people would find me beautiful, they would find me attractive. Men, namely, would find me beautiful, they'd find me attractive, they would tell me they want to be with me. But for me, dating apps were kind of toxic because it was so sexual. Like, I am a black woman and I am a plus size woman. Those two things are very fetishized groups. So because of that, it would just always, honestly, always be about sex. I very rarely had a conversation. You know what I mean? Or we'd have a conversation and then sex would be the next topic. Or when are you gonna come over? When can I come over? Mind you, I live in a dorm room, sir. Never. That's neither here nor there. But like things like that were just so, they added to a lot of things for me and really built up these ideas in my head that existed for a while until kind of recently. So one thing I felt as a result of all the things I just shared was that, again, I was undesirable to men. But then I realized that, first of all, that's just not true. And I think to attribute that moment to a feeling I have for the rest of my life, I know now does not make sense. Because this is a teen boy who probably didn't know his feelings, didn't know how to express them. I also thought to myself, was it like he wanted us to win together? So him and his friends knew he wanted us to win together. Like, there are all these thoughts I went through in my head. But at the end of the day, because I can only control me and I only know what I was thinking, none of those things really matter. All that matters is, in that moment, my feelings were hurt. And that's okay. I can come back from that. I can understand that that was a moment. That was one person. That God has kept me hidden and kept me safe from heartache. Real heartache. Like, I have to break up with someone heartache. God has protected me from, thank God, any kind of like physical abuse or getting myself into any kind of crazy situation that would end with me feeling violated in any way. Like, God has just been so good in protecting me that even when all these thoughts came into my head of men don't think I'm cute or men only want to have sex with me, all I'm good for is sex, there was a time where I was like, well, if a man doesn't say he wants to have sex with me, obviously he doesn't like me, because that's what happens when someone's interested in you, because that was all I had seen. So again, if you want to hear more about those thoughts, I really don't want to like get too far into it, but if you want to hear more about those thoughts, I highly recommend checking out a video I made last year, just about feeling those things and overcoming those things, because I know that there is more to me than sex. Like, I have so much to offer a relationship. I have so much to offer a man who's ready to receive it, that sex is the only thing that I can give somebody. And that if I want to be in a relationship with somebody, it's going to be A, someone who appreciates me and sees me properly, and B, it's going to be someone who does find me attractive and down the road wants to, you know, do what we want to do as married people, but it's not his only priority. You know, and he knows that I offer more than just my body. So that was a story time / living single lesson that came from just, you know, living life and being out here trying to really identify like the root of my feelings. And I highly recommend that if you are someone who's never dated before, even if you're someone who has dated before, if you're someone who just feels undesirable at this moment, think about what is the root of this feeling? Like, when did I start feeling this way? And unpack that moment. Because that moment at the dance that I just told y'all about was just a moment. It was one teenage boy. And I keep expressing the teenage part because, like, when you're a teenager, your emotions are so strong. At least mine were. My emotions were so strong. And teenage boys don't know how to communicate, which is the root of every teen rom-com. And I love a good teen rom-com. But teenage people, you're still developing. You're still understanding how to communicate with others. Like, literally, that moment affected me so much. But that boy probably don't think about that moment for the rest of his life. And that's okay. You know? Because it is what it is. But I'm just so thankful that I took time to dig into like my past, address it, and say, you know what? Though that moment was hard then, it doesn't have to inform how I feel the rest of my life. One moment doesn't have to change how you think about yourself. One moment doesn't have to change who you think you are, who you think you're called to be. So I just encourage y'all to think deeper. Like, what is the root of this? Where did this start? Where did this thought originate for me? And go to that moment and say, wow, this was just a moment, or wow, this moment really affected me. How else has it affected me? Where else has this shown up in my life? And just really get into that. For you, yourself, your future, for your future generations, pray into it. For me, I was like, God, like, I literally had to have God bring it up to me. I was like, God, I don't know where this came from. This feeling of feeling undesirable, because I know I'm fun. I know I'm cute. I know all these things about myself. So where did this come from? And so I was able to attack it that way and just really, like, honestly debunk the lies of the enemy. Period. Let's call a spade a spade. That's what it is. There are lies that were established in me, and I need to attack them and get rid of them. So thank you, next. We're moving on. And yeah, so I hope that made some sense, and I hope it was helpful. Again, I highly recommend you watch the video I made about a year ago. some of the facts of that video have changed, but the feelings have not, and the more so talking about my singleness and where I'm at and how I've grown. I've grown more since then, thank God. But I just wanted to share that you should check out that video, definitely. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. You can follow me on Instagram, stay tapped in on everything going on. And yeah, appreciate you guys for watching. Bye!